It's a me, Avia. Boing. Hello, welcome to episode 25 of The Lightning Cave. Can you believe that I've made it 25 episodes without going insane or cancelling the series? Today is about a game which came out a week ago, which is Paper Mario the Origami King. Very fortunately, been given a chance to review this game. Never played a Paper Mario game before, so if you like me, it's going to be a bit about what the Paper Mario games are like and a bit about what I think of this game. But to give it away then, basically, Paper Mario is Mario RPG, and they made a Paper Mario drawing, because it was easier to draw, and it was originally Square Enix who did the series for Nintendo, and it got picked up by someone within Nintendo because Square Enix went off to obviously Final Fantasy. Paper Mario was easier to draw than the other Mario because he is pretty 2D, and that kind of the series led on from there. And the idea was it was Mario, but it was more open world. It wasn't side scrolling. What's really good about Paper Mario, the Origami King, is the fact that it's very meta. It takes the Mickey out of itself, but not in an over the top way. You know, there was one bit just earlier on that I played actually that you found a secret cafe, and it was for the minions who were trying to take a break from the world. So it's, these guys come into because they're always pacing back and forward every day. There are jokes behind everything, which makes the whole game very clever and very mature at parts, and also very, very funny. But I'm going to talk a bit about the mechanics first of all. So firstly, I'm going to talk about the combat mechanics. You go into battle. Firstly, you're in an open world, so you're walking around Paper Mario in this really, really amazingly crafted world. But I'll go on to that in a minute. There are enemies in the open world, and you can jump on the heads, or you can smack them with a hammer. However, if they've got spikes on the heads, such as the little red shells with the spikes on top, you can't jump on them because it will hurt your feet. So if you jump onto it, or onto something that will hurt you, and then go into battle, you start off on the back foot because that enemy has already hurt you, so your health is gone. However, if you manage to smack them before they ambush you, then you get to take away some of their health, so you go into battle with an advantage. Seems a bit mad for a Mario game, but you actually need to do these things. You go into the battle, and there's a grid, and it's lots of circles, and you have all the enemies in different positions. The aim is like a puzzle game. The aim is to line them up as a 4, so you can jump on all their heads in a row, or in a kind of square, so you can smack them all in one go with a hammer. If you manage to solve the puzzle before the time runs out, you basically get a combat advantage, and you can do more damage with your attacks. Obviously, so if you're in a longer battle or a bigger battle with more enemies on the field, then you need to try and work this out. You have to kind of take it. You're not punished that severely because at the end of the day, it's still focused towards a younger audience. You're never punished that badly. But I have died a couple of times in battle, especially with boss fights. It's very clever. You have to use your different weapons. You unlock better weapons as you carry on the game. You've always got your main pair of normal Mario boots and your wooden hammer, and then you've got other items you can buy which actually break after a certain amount of uses, so you need to keep them topped up. However, don't be worried about spending coins in this game because you're going to get so many coins. It's unbelievable. So just don't worry about spending coins. Make sure you're fully stocked up with health, and you get to buy extra lives. So yeah, eventually, as you start to play the game more, you unlock toads. The guys with the mushroom heads, not frogs. And they cheer you on, and you can summon them at the very beginning of the battle, and they'll just do some very slight damage to the enemies. Not very much, but the best thing is that as you start to rescue more and more of the toads, they are sat around the battle arena, and they're kind of cheering you on. And it's kind of fun that it's very visual on the amount of toads that you're saving, because the amount of toads are in the battle, right? It's really cool. So yeah, the combat mechanics are really great. It's deeper than you might think, because you've got a different choice of weapons. You can even use the flower from Mario to shoot fireballs in a row and do a lot of damage. Again, you need to buy them. You can buy 1-up mushrooms as a backup, so if you die, you automatically come back to life. So yeah, that's essentially what the combat's about. And then you also have boss battles, which are very different again. They give you new tiles, so whereas the other one the enemies are on the inside and you're on the outside of the ring, and wait, that's the wrong way around. You're in the middle for normal fights, and enemies are around you. And you need to arrange them in a certain position to make sure you do the most damage. On boss fights, you're on the outside and they're on the inside, and the aim is to get to them. And the game puts down little arrows and stuff. And the aim is to get to the boss and do damage, but it's not always simple. There's always a method to defeat every boss, and it does take a couple of goes with some of them on working out how to actually get to the boss, where to hit it in the right place, what attack to use. And there are also magic circles. Your little friend, Amelia, the fairy, the origami fairy, she can use these magic circles, and what I didn't mention before in the open world is, which I can't really talk about in the open world yet, but you can basically, in some parts, have to use magic circles to tear stuff down, push stuff over, because it gives you these magic long arms. And in the battle, often you have to use these arms, and then there's more powers you unlock as you play the game to defeat the bad guy. So there's a turtle, and you have to step on all of its feet, and then you have to flip it over. There was a pencil case where you had to make it put around to the back of the pencil case and shut the pencil case so it would blow itself up. There's all these sorts of things you have to work out. So the RPG mechanics are actually really solid. You have to really think about your battles, because you've got your health bar and one at life, but you can't heal yourself during battle. At least I haven't worked out how to do that yet. I don't think you can heal yourself during battle, so you've got a limited amount of kind of turns, I suppose, to actually kill the bad guys. So yeah, the combat mechanics are awesome. Then I'll move on to the open world. The open world again is amazing. What I really liked about the Origami King world is it felt like a book, especially when you're playing handheld. It looks almost like a book. It doesn't look like a video game, which I think is, amazing. It's obviously the aesthetic they've gone for. I've seen people saying, "Oh, it's lazy. The Paper Mario is lazy because it's just a 2D drawing," but it's not. Him within this origami world works really, really, really well, and it's really clever. It looks like someone's folded up bits of paper and actually built this world around Mario. So you get this kind of beautiful place, and each. Maybe I'll talk about the story to lead on to the open world a bit more. This evil fairy has turned the whole world of Paper Mario into origami, including Princess Peach. And then when you get turned into origami, you're essentially evil. And then through this process, he takes the whole of Peach's castle away to a faraway land or mountain or something, and it's wrapped up by all these ribbons. And the aim of the game is to get to the end of every ribbon and unravel the ribbons. I think there's 5 or 6, and when you've done that, obviously the end level is going to be Peach's castle. But each ribbon is situated in a different place, and each world that you go to feels very different. There's like a water level, there's like an autumn level, there's like a mountain, etc., etc. They're all very different aesthetics, and again, they all lend themselves to this origami world very, very well. And also, you'll find different bad guys as you go along. But what I like is you're playing this Mario RPG, which feels very new, but then they'll put in old school monsters and mechanics but done in a different way. So, for example, there was a puzzle I had to solve, but part of the puzzle was being held by a bad guy, and I couldn't just catch him, and I had to use one of the POW blocks to knock the enemy over and grab the block. But there are lots of little things like this throughout the whole game, and like I said, the story makes itself very funny, because Mario doesn't talk in the game at all, but like Bowser talks, and the fairy talks, and the princess talks. Everyone and all the toads are really hilarious. Like, I have really enjoyed rescuing them just to have a bit of comedy. And yeah, so the toads are everywhere, and you have to find them. So they'll be caught in trees. They have been folded into bugs, because essentially what's happened is the Origami King has folded all of the paper beings into origami, but then, like I said, they're evil, so they'll be folded into bugs or frogs or fish or whatever, and you have to smash them with your hammer to unfold them, which is, yeah, it's really, really fun. And the world is, as I said, it's beautifully crafted, it looks amazing, it plays amazing, and the story is really enjoyable. So it's all been very positive. Is there anything I don't like about the game? Not really. If I'm honest, sometimes I feel like it helps you a bit too much, or it's not quite difficult enough, but I appreciate its targeted to a whole range of ages, so it needs to be accessible for everyone. At the same time, some of the puzzle solving on in the battles can be almost impossible. So I appreciate you actually need to really think about what you're doing. And also, I think I would like some sort of more of an experience system. The only real experience is you gain these hearts from when you rescue certain toads, and it ups your HP and also your battle damage, and then and also the whole time you're getting coins. So when you do a battle really well, you get more coins. But all I've ended up with is like with 2,000 coins, or no, 20,000 coins I should say, that I can't really do anything with. I mean, yes, I can go and buy boots and stuff. I don't know if later game it's going to change, and I will talk about that when I complete the game. I'm trying to play through it as quickly as I can. So yeah, very, very minor things that haven't really affected the game. It works insanely well as a handheld. It works really, really well as on full screen as well. So yeah, I think that's everything you need to know. The mechanics are awesome. The story is really good. There's really good humour. The combat's really enjoyable, and everything they've put together works really well. It makes you want to keep coming back to the main hub world because you unlock more things that the Toads go back and they've got open shops and battles training, and you want to keep going back to see what's going on. And there's you're kind of building up the town the whole time. There's one thing I forgot to mention, which is the confetti. Basically, the world's been ripped to shreds, so you have to use confetti to patch it back together, and that will unlock hidden items and make you be able to travel past certain areas and get to secret areas and that sort of thing. So yeah, again, another really good mechanic in the open world. There's probably some things I've forgotten, but that's my review. And Mario, Paper Mario and the Origami King gets a 9 out of 10 from me. So thank you for that. And thank you for watching episode 25 of The Lightning Cave. I'll be back with you next week, and I think I'm going to be talking about why I love hard games so much. Bye bye as always, and thank you. And don't forget to like and subscribe and all that good stuff.